Welcome to Connect Deck. In this video, I'm going to show you how to modify the opt-in page so that it can represent your brand and your products. All right, so let's get to it. So we should still be in our My Shopify Funnel version 1 automation, right? So let's go. We're just going to click on the opt-in object, and you're going to click on the gear icon. And that's going to open up the opt-in settings. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to change the path. So we're just going to, right here in the path section, we're just going to type in my offer. This is going to be the path name for now. We can always change this later, but for now, we're going to make it my offer. All right. And then we're just going to click on the edit page right here to the right. And this is going to take us into the page builder for this particular page. All right, so here is the page. Notice how it's already designed. It already has its sections. It already has some copy in it. And all you have to do is, change the logo, change the text, fill in the blanks, so to speak, to provide your brand and your message. And of course, we want to switch out this image to showcase your product. We may want to change the background image, things of that nature, right? So this is basically an opt-in page, right? It's a real simple page, nothing fancy, right? It's meant to just be simple, direct, straight to the point, and let the words speak to your audience. Remember, your Facebook ad should be driving traffic to this page. So by the time they come to this page, they should already have some idea of what you're all about or what you're offering. So by the time they get to this page needs to just continue with that message and drive it home. And the main thing we want to do on this page is we want them to give us their contact information, their name, their email, and their phone number in exchange for our ebook. All right. So let me just scroll down a little bit so you all can kind of see like this how this page is, and you should be able to see it on your end as well. Scroll up and down. Now remember, you can change anything on this page, right? But I'm going to kind of guide you through on how to make the changes, right? The first thing we want to do is we want to change our logo, right? So if you just click on this logo, you're going to notice that the properties shows up in the left, right? And if I were to click on this image, the image property shows up. If I click on this heading widget, the heading property shows up to the left. If I click on, this button, the button properties show up to the left. Okay. Now, each of these kind of like blocks is basically a section. You can kind of see the difference as you scroll up and down, right? They're a section. So we have the way this page is set up. There are regions. You have a page, and within a page, there are regions, and there could be more than one region, one or many regions. Within a region, there is a grid. Within a grid, there are columns, and within columns, there could be individual widgets. You can also put a subgrid within a column as well. So the first thing we want to do is we just want to click on our logo right here, and we want to change this because this is not our logo, right? It's just a placeholder. So just click on it, and notice to the left, you're going to have image properties. So we're going to click on the content section, right? Because each of these in the property section, they're all separated by property sections. So when I clicked on this image, it brought up the image properties. And within the image properties, there are multiple property sections. So you have a content section, segmentation section, style section, and a global style section. So if I click on the property section, it will expand. And within there will be properties, other properties that we can set. And one of the properties under content is select primary image. And so I can just click on this ellipsis right here. And this is going to open up the file manager. And as you can see, I have a few images already in here. If you want, you're going to have to upload your image. So you would just click on this green upload button. And when you click on it, it will open up your file explorer on your computer. and then you can just locate the file that you want to use. Okay. So I actually have a few things a few files that I want to upload. So I'm just going to upload three of them, these three images all at one time, and I'm just going to open it up and bring it in, right? So now all of my files are here. Now notice that when you upload a file, you're going to notice if I click on the upload button again, and let's say I just click on, this image right here. And when I double click on it to bring it in, notice how all the other images go away and it just shows me that one image because, it's like, okay, you just uploaded that. You might have a bunch of images here. So when you upload, it will kind of like filter out all the other ones and show you the one you just recently uploaded. And then you can just insert it. If you don't want to do that, you can just click on the refresh and it'll just bring all your images right back in here. You can also filter. So I can actually type in like the word lash and it'll filter any images that have the word lash, okay? If you have a bunch of images in here, you're gonna see a navigation on the top right where you can do next and previous. You're also gonna notice that there's two sections. There's a My Files section in the File Manager and there's a System Files. My Files are all of the images you upload. System Files are all the images that Connect Deck uploads, right? So these are all the images that are just in the Connect Deck, application, all right? So I'm gonna click back on My Files again, and then I'm just gonna locate my logo, and here it is, and I'm just gonna hit Insert. And so here is my logo, Shea Parrish, right? Now, if I come over here to the left, I can go to Style, and if I want this to be a little bit wider, I can change the max width of that image, so I can do that. So I think that's pretty good right there, Shea Parrish, okay? The next thing we want to do is I want to just quickly change my image right here. So I'm gonna click on this ebook right here, and I'm gonna go to Content, because notice to the left, it says Image Properties. I'm gonna go to Content, and I'm gonna change the primary image. Select Primary Image, I'm gonna click the ellipsis, and I'm gonna locate my ebook cover, and I'm gonna insert that, okay? And notice how it brings in my ebook, Why Glue and Magnetic Lashes Are Obsolete, all right? So, and I'm actually gonna go a little step further, and I'm gonna click on Styles on the left, and I just wanna add a slight border around my image. So I'm gonna go to the border section, and I'm gonna say All Sides, and I'm going to click right here and change the color to white and give it about, like maybe 8 pixels just to kind of add a border around the image, okay? Now, the next thing that I would want to do also is just kind of come in and change my background image, because this background image, it's a nice image, but it just doesn't fit what my brand. So I'm just going to click on, as you hover around, you're going to notice that there's a orange box in the left. That is your region or your section, okay? You just hover over it and click on Properties, and it's going to bring up the Properties, the Region Properties section. And I'm going to click on Style, and then I'm going to scroll down, and you're going to see within the Style Property section or category, there's a bunch of properties: margin, padding, background, right? And I'm gonna go to the background, and you see where this image is. There's a background image. I'm just gonna click on the ellipsis of that, and I'm gonna change it to, I'm gonna see how this one looks. I'm gonna change it to that one, and that's kind of too much. So I'm going to change it. I'm gonna switch it to this one. I'm gonna insert that. That's my background. Now, of course, this is not the look that I completely want. So I'm gonna scroll down, and I'm going to go here to background overlay. Cause see here, under the background section, there's a background type and there's a background overlay. What I wanna do is I wanna give it a solid overlay. So I'm just gonna click on this solid background or single background, basic background rather. And I'm just going to go to color and I'm going to click on this space here to change my color. And I want to make it like a black. And then I'm going to scroll down to the opacity and I'm just going to change the opacity just to, kind of, make it translucent a little bit, not transparent, but translucent. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it too much because I want the ebook to stand out. All right. And so that's just a quick way to change, your background. If I didn't want to use a image, I could have just, I can just come over here to background overlay and clear that, come over here to the image, clear the image, and I can just choose a regular background image. And I can just say color. I'm just going to give it, like maybe a gray. And I can just keep it simple, and I can even give it some kind of a lighter opacity on that if I wanted to. But I kind of like it with the image, so I'm just going to add my image back in here. And I'm going to go here to color overlay, and I'm going to give it background image and just choose my opacity. Now, for those of you who want to be a little bit more creative, you can go to background overlay, and let me do this. I'm going to bring up I have a get color program, and I'm just going to get the color of this shirt she's wearing. And this shirt is like a maroon type color. So I'm going to just copy that color to the clipboard. And then I'm just going to come over here to the background overlay. And instead of me choosing the basic color, I'm going to choose the gradient color. So I'm going to click on that. And with this, I can choose 2 different colors. So for color 1, I'm just going to put in the color for that. And you can kind of see how that automatically changes. I'm going from a maroon or pinkish to a transparent. And I have a gradient. And if I come here to the angle down here, I can kind of angle, like, do I want it to be top to bottom, left to right? And so I can kind of play around with this to kind of get, a better look and feel. And you can kind of see how it spices it up a little bit, So I can kind of, even that's not too bad, But I want it to be a little bit, darker. So I'm going to, just because I want to kind of match the rest of the page. I might even stay with this look actually. Let me see. Yeah, so I'll probably lighten it up just a little bit. Come here to the color overlay and lighten it up just a little bit. Or darken it up a little bit more, just to make my text stand out, right? So this may be, my headline, right? Now, I don't want to get too much into the design, but I just wanted to show you what's possible real quick. But the main thing I want to focus your attention on, at least right now, is the copy. So you see here, it says free ebook, right? And notice how it's in curly bracket. Anything that's in a curly bracket is for you to modify, right? So when it says free, the reason why this is in curly brackets is because it may be a free ebook, a free checklist, a free, a free survey, right? So in my case, it's an ebook. So I'm just going to take off the curly brackets and just say free ebook, right? And then right below that is my headline. And notice my headline says, your attention grabbing ebook title goes here, right? And so I'm just going to put the title of my ebook, which is why glue and magnetic lashes are obsolete, right? And so that's, my title there. And now some of you may have a lot of words or a little bit of words. And if like let's say I had a lot more words, why glue and magnetic lashes are obsolete for, women who want to save time, right? Now, by me typing in more text, notice how it kind of throws off the layout a little bit. So, and some of you that might happen to you because you have, more text or less text and it kind of collapse. But you can always come over, just click on the header property of this section, the widget, and just come over here to the left side and click on style. And then you can just change the font size. You know what I mean? So if if your headline is a little bit long, you can still adjust the font size to kind of, make it smaller. Or if you only have like a few words, you can kind of make it bigger to fill in the gap, right? So I'm gonna come back over here and just take out that, and then I'm just going to click on the object again, go to style, and increase. I'm gonna increase mine and make it a little bit. Why glue and magnetic lashes are obsolete. Okay, so I increase mine. Now, another thing that I want to just encourage you all is you see, depending on the height of your image, right, you want to try to keep it like kind of symmetrical, where you notice how this text is kind of like in the center horizontally. It's like horizontally centered, with this image to the right. Okay. So now if we go to the bottom, right below it, there's a subheadline, and it says, are you looking for simple ways to, and then there's the curly brackets again. It says insert desired outcome without curly brackets, insert pain point. This is how you're going to work on modifying this copy. So you want to come in here and say, okay, are you looking for simple ways to, improve? Are you looking for simple ways to put on, to wear lashes without the pain point, the mess, and drying time? Are you looking for simple ways to wear lashes without the mess and drying time? I don't know if that's a really good copy, but y'all kind of get the point of what I'm trying to say here. As far as like in the curly brackets, right? You want to kind of, you want to, state the desired outcome. Are you looking for simple ways to desired outcome without the, pain point that your product or ebook, rather, your ebook can solve? Okay. And then you want to get to the call to action. Notice how it says, yes, I want, in curly brackets, it says ebook. Now yours might say ebook, it might say survey, it might say course, right? It might say checklist, but in this case, I want mine to say ebook. So I'm just going to click on this button, and I'm going to come over here to the left, and I'm just going to click on, in the button properties, I'm going to click on the text property section, and I'm just going to look for the text property, and I'm just going to take out the curly brackets because I'm okay with it just saying ebook. Like if it was a checklist, then you would just put the word checklist there, and you're like, yes, I want checklist, right? In this case, I want ebook, right? And so that's the call to action, right? Everybody with me so far? Now we can scroll down and we get to another section, and it says, when you secure your free ebook, or in curly brackets, you will. And so what you want to put in here is like, when you secure your free ebook or checklist or whatever the type of offer you have. In my case is ebook, so I'm just going to take off the curly brackets and keep the word ebook. When you secure your free ebook, you will learn what's the insert point number one audience will learn from your ebook, right? You will learn this. So what is the number one point that, or what is a point you're teaching in your ebook, right? And then notice these other options. It says, you'll see how easy it can be to insert point number 2 shared in your ebook. So you need to think about what are the points you're making in your ebook, right? And those points, you want to put them here, but you want to put them as very short, like 7, 8, words. Now, how do you change the text here? Just click on this object, because this is a bullet list object. So just click on this bullet list object and go over here to the left and click on content, and you're going to see bullet items, and just click on the ellipsis, and this is going to open up the bullet list. And you can rearrange things in here. You can delete, you can add new items, and when you're done, just hit accept. So if I wanted to change something, and if I can just put in, insert point number 1, audience will learn from the ebook. So they're going to learn. They're going to learn how adhesive liner is safer, faster, and keeps fake lashes and increases the wear time of false lashes, right? So learn how adhesive liner is safer, faster, and increases the wear time of fake lashes. And I'm just going to hit accept, right? And then notice how it changes that. When you secure your free ebook, you will learn how adhesive liner is safer, faster, and increases the wear time of fake lashes. When you secure your free ebook, you will, number 2, see how easy it can be to insert the second point. And then notice this is without, and then insert a pain point. Notice the curly brackets again, right? And then when you get to the third one, it'll know the best way to insert point number 3 shared in the ebook, even if you're a total newbie, or, those are the things you can kind of put. It's just ways to bring out reasons why they should download your ebook, right? And so you want to kind of go through this section to do that. So you just click on the object, come over here to content, and then go to bullet items and just click on the ellipsis. And this is where you can change your text, okay? Now you want to, I don't suggest removing an item, unless you just can't think of 5 items. If you can't think of 5 items, you can always just click the delete button to remove one of them, Okay, and when you're done, you would just hit the, when you're in here, you would just hit the accept button to accept, and it'll bring you back to here, right? Now, if you want to change this background image, again, you can do the same thing. I'm going to change my background image for this section. So I'm just going to click on the orange button in the top left here of the section. This is the region. I'm going to click on the properties. I'm going to go to style, and then I'm going to scroll down and and I'm going to, I have an image in here. I'm just going to change my image. So I'm going to click on this ellipsis, and I'm going to switch it to this one here. I'm going to use that image, but you see how that's kind of dark. I'm going to add an overlay to that. So I'm going to scroll down to the background overlay, and I'm just going to scroll down and give it a color. I'm just going to give it a white color, the white. And then I'm just going to give it opacity, because I just want it to kind of just, show a little bit, so I'm kind of, maintaining the brand a little bit, showing her face instead of, like some chairs or something like that. Another thing that I could do to kind of, if I wanted to make this a little bit more whiter, I could just go here to, I do a dual image, and I just do white on one side and transparent on the other, and change the angle, and then change my my location on the first image, on the first color. And you can see as I'm doing that, it's making the left side white. You see how that's happening? And then I can just change my angle, and I'll back it up just a little bit. There we go. So that, that's one way. But then now you still can't really see the text. So I'm just showing you this so you can kind of understand like how we're getting that, that look. So let me go back to, I'm gonna go to the single image, and a single color. I'm just gonna make it white and just give it a opacity, because I could read the text better. I don't really need to see her image too clearly. I just wanted it as a design effect, Okay, so, and then we're gonna go to the next section. And during our office hours, remember how I told you about office hours? We're doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do office hours from 1 week is going to be from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. And then the following week, it'll be from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And in those sessions, we will kind of like provide question and answer period and more points on, modifying the copy, modifying the design and stuff like that. So if you want to have like more discussions around that, you can join the office hours as well. So I'm going to change the opacity, and so this is good. Now we're going to go to the next section. Next section, it says, insert a short, powerful testimony from a real customer in this section. Keep it around 3 lines. And the reason why we say keep it around 3 lines, because if you start adding more and more lines, you see how it messes up the layout. And this is the thing a lot of people do is they get a template and then mess up the template because, they're not good with page layout. They're not good with typography and stuff like that. So insert a short, powerful testimony from a real customer in this section. So you would just basically just put in a testimonial, and I actually don't have one, so I'm just going to make up one real quick. I don't advise you to make up one, but for this example, I'm just going to type up a testimonial, So I'm like, this ebook was brief, but very informative about the latest technology in lash liners. This ebook was brief but very informative about the latest technology in eyelashes and eyeliners. I'm definitely getting rid of the glue. Right? And then you can just upload an image, click on this image, go here to content on the left, image property, go here to content, select primary image, just click on the ellipsis, and then you can go to upload your, the person who gave you the testimonial. Take a picture, go to their profile on social media, use their picture from there. Of course, you want to get their permission and then upload it. I'm just going to go to System Files, and I'm just going to type in the word woman, see if I can, woman, and I'll just select her and switch the image, and then I'll just come down here to the name of the customer. I'm just going to double click because this is a paragraph, a heading widget. You can just double click right into it and it'll go into edit mode. And I just put, Janet, Janet Roundtree. Okay. And then I'm gonna click on this button and it says grab the free ebook. I'm just gonna come over here to the button properties and go to the text property section. And I'm just gonna take out the squirrely bracket and just keep the word ebook. Right, and so now it says grab this free ebook. So you kind of see, how it's working, And I think for me, what I'm probably going to do is because I'm kind of seeing the color scheme. I don't think I'm gonna keep this yellow, but let me change my, I'm gonna change my background image. I'm gonna click on the orange box here and then go to properties to select the region. And then I'm gonna go to style. And then I'm just gonna scroll down to the background and locate the background image. And this is it right here. And I'm just gonna click on the ellipsis and I'm gonna upload, and I'm gonna use, one of my images. I'm just gonna click on this one. I'm gonna use that one. But I'm going to, actually that doesn't look too bad, but I think I'm gonna still add some overlay to it. And I think I'm just gonna add a black overlay just to keep that almost black. Actually, all black was kind of nice too. Actually, you know what? I think what I might end up doing is I'm gonna come up here to this first region. I'm just gonna select the property here. I'm gonna go to style, and I'm just gonna copy this color. I'm gonna use that same color down here. And I'm just gonna click on hover over the orange button box and click on properties. Now I'm on that property section, and I'm actually not going to use a background overlay, so I'm just gonna hit clear. And I'm not gonna use a background image neither. I'm just gonna hit clear, take that out, but I will use a solid background, so I'm just gonna click on the color and paste that color in there. Because I think that might be better, I think. Yeah, because I'm kind of going from like background image to a solid color, And then I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to change these buttons, these quotes to white. Make mine's white. And you can do the same thing. You can just click on it, go over here to style, and just go to here to text color to change the color of those quotes. Okay? Then I'm going to, and that kind of flows a little bit better. I might still change these checkboxes as well too. And then I'm gonna click on this, I don't know, I think I'm kind of okay with the color of the button still, I think. All right, now I'm gonna go to the next section. And it says, it's time to stop. And it says, insert activity audience is wasting time with, and start insert solution provided within ebook/freebie. And it's time to stop. And I'm just going to double click in here to go into edit mode, insert activity audience is wasting time with. So I'm like, it's time to stop wasting time with, it's time to stop wasting time. What would I say here? It's time to stop wasting time with messy glue and drying time. And start getting the lash look you want with less hassle and time. I don't know, I may be talking more about the product instead of the actual ebook. So let me go back and put it, because what are they going to learn with the ebook? This ebook is basically, I'm just showing them the difference between the, like why these things are obsolete. So it's time to stop Yeah, wasting time. Yeah. Yeah, wasting time. It's time to stop wasting time with messy glue. I'm gonna keep it like this for now. Messy glue, and I'm not really a copywriter. I should have had my copywriter here, Jessica, to kind of walk through this. It's time to stop wasting time with messy glue and drying time, and start getting the lash look you want. Faster and safer. All right. And then for this, remember, it's all about your copy. So you really want to spend some time really crafting this. I'm kind of rushing a little bit, but these little brackets are really helping. So now you're going to get down to this other 3 section here. This is more about the psychology behind the psychological benefit. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually just going to change my icons to, because I think I can get away with this. So I'm just going to click on the icon widget, and then I'm going to come over here to the icon properties to the left. I'm going to click on content, and I'm going to go to the select icon property and just click on the ellipsis. And then I'm just going to click on system files because the icons are in system files. And then I'm just going to go to the search, and I'm just going to type in the word I. And I think I just want to use this, and I think I want to use this for all 3 of these. I think I want to use it for all 3, but I think I want to change the color. So I'm going to click on the icon again, go here to style, and then go to text color. And I'm just going to change the color to kind of like a grayish, right? And then I want to do the same thing for all these. So I'm just going to basically click on here. And here's a way you can kind of cheat. I can click on this I, and I can just go here to content, and I can just copy. Where it says select icon, I can just copy the words, MDI, right? All of that. Come over here and click on this smiley icon and come back to content and just paste. Right, and then do the same thing. Click on this bullseye or the target icon. Come over here to the left. Click on content and highlight what's in the select icon and just paste that. Right. Now, what about changing the color? Right. I can change these colors individually, or what I can do is I can just click on the first one, being that I got it looking the way I want. I can just click on this icon widget, and you see right here, there's like a pencil, like an edit. I can hover over that, and it brings up a short menu. And I want to scroll down to where it says copy style. I'm going to click on copy style, and then I'm going to hover over the second icon over the same pencil, and I'm going to paste. I'm going to click on where it says paste style. And you see what that does. It pastes the style, whatever style effects that was on that I copied, it'll paste it over here. And I'm going to come to the third one and do the same thing. Hover over the pencil and just do paste style. Now, this copy and paste style only works if you're copying and pasting, if you're pasting to the same type of widget. So you can't copy, I can't go over here to this headline widget and come over here to copy style and then try to paste it on an icon widget. I can only copy a style and paste it to the same kind of widget. So I can copy the style of a headline widget and paste it to another headline widget. I can copy the style of a button and paste it to another button, okay? Now, notice what it says underneath these icons. It says celebrate knowing that, and then below that is the curly bracket again, right? Below that is a curly bracket where I got to put in some copy. So celebrate knowing that, expand on point number 4, right? So if I scroll all the way up, whatever you put here for point number 4, just expand on that down here, right? And just keep it short, right? Like 2 lines, no more than 3 lines, because you want to keep everything even, right? And then you go to the second section. See where it says no longer stress about. And then it says expand on point number 2 in the form of a short phrase, right? So go up here. What was your point for number 2? Right? See how easy it can be to insert point number 2 shared in the ebook without pain point, right? And you want to just kind of expand on that a little bit, like 2 or 3 lines down here, right? Try to keep them all the same number of lines. When you get over here, it says feel better because, and then expand on point number 1 in the form of a short phrase, okay? So you want to think about that. And then when you go down here, it says send it now, okay? And then the last section is where the form is, right? And so what happens is if you click on any of these buttons, right, when you click on the button, it'll just automatically scroll all the way down to the form section. And the reason why it's doing that is because there's an anchor. If you look right here, right above this headline widget where it says, where should we send your free ebook /freebie, right above it, if you click on it, is an anchor widget. And if I come over here to the left and I select the anchor info property section, there's a name, and I just called it opt-in form. And so all these buttons, if I click on this button and I go here to button info on the left, right, the link URL is $, and then the opt-in form. It's just the name, whatever name I put in my anchor is what I put here. Anchors should not have any spaces. And so when you press a button, if you want that button to scroll right down to this anchor, then that's what you do. You just put a $, and then the name, whatever name you gave your anchor, okay? So I'm gonna click back on here where it says free ebook over here, and I'm gonna take off I'm just gonna double click because this is a heading property. I'm just gonna take off the squirrely bracket because mine is an ebook. And then it says your attention grabbing ebook title goes here. So I'm just gonna come back up here, double click, why glue and magnetic lashes are obsolete, and I'm just going to scroll back down here, double click, and I'm just going to paste it. Why glue and magnetic lashes are obsolete. And then it says, where should we send your free ebook /freebie? I'm just going to double click in this headline widget, and I'm just going to take off the squirrely curly brackets and just take out everything except the ebook. So it should say, it would read, where should we send your free ebook? Right? And then right below that is a form, the full name, email, phone number, and then a submit button, okay? Now, if we click on this, this field, the full name, if we go to the left, notice how it says field properties. And there are 4 property sections. One is a field info, label info, style, and global style. If I click on the field info, the first thing we see is a form ID. All of these fields and buttons have the same form ID. Why? Because it's possible, there may be times you may want to put more than one form on a page. And so therefore, the system needs to know which fields and buttons go with which form. So, if you want all of these fields and buttons to go with one form, they all should have the same form ID. So notice for the full name, the form ID is form 01. If I click on the email, come back over here to field info, form ID is the same. If I click on this enter phone on the page and then come back over here to the left, field info is form 01. And if I click on the button, the submit form button, and come over here to button info, scroll down, you're going to see there's a form ID and it's the same form ID. So all of these things share the same form ID, right? Now, if I were to bring in, let's say I come over here to widgets, notice how on the top left, I can go to pages, sections, widgets, and properties, right? But if I click on widgets, and let's say I scroll down to, I wanted to add a new field, I can just go to form widgets and drag this field right on here, you know? And let's say I want to put it there. And notice, you know, it says first name, and I can, when I click on it and go to form field, notice how it automatically put form 01 there. Because the system said, let me scan the page and let me see if there's any fields already on this page. If it is, let me use the same form ID. Now I can always change it, but I don't need to because it's the same form, Okay. So I'm just going to hit delete to remove that. Okay. Now, by default, all these things share the same form ID, so I don't have to change it. It's a submit button. The button's already set up, right? The only thing you need to do is click on this submit form button and go to button info on the left. And you see where it says form title? You just want to take out all of this like GUI, like this unique number, and you just want to put the name of the form. So the name of this form, just call it opt-in form 01. Let's just call it opt-in form 01 for now. And so what this will do is when we hit save, it's going to take all these fields and it's going to create a form record within the Connect deck. And you'll be able to go into that form and see all of the contacts that, opted into that form. Okay. So also another thing, if you notice, when I click on this submit button, if I come over here to the button info, notice how one of the fields says link to connecting page. I don't have to tell the system, I don't have to put in like a URL or what the next page is. I could if I wanted to, but in this case, I'm just saying link to connecting page, right? That's because in my blueprint, my opt-in page is connected to a sales page. So when this button is pressed, the Connect deck knows to automatically not only submit the form, but navigate to the sales page, right? So it knows to do that automatically, all right? And then if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a copyright section. And in the squirrely brackets, it says company name, and I'm just going to take that. I'm just going to double click in here, take out my squirrely brackets, and I'm just going to put Shea Parish, right? And I'm going to do one more thing in this last section. I'm going to highlight over the orange box and click on properties. Then I'm going to go to style, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to change my background here. I'm going to click on the ellipsis, and I'm going to pick this one right here. And I'm going to, this one, I'm going to give this an overlay. So I'm just going to click on, go to the background overlay and just give this a solid color. But this one's going to be a kind of a dark. I'm going to give it like a darker color. So it kind of might even give it like, I don't want to go too dark, but, and I'm just going to change the opacity to kind of lighten it up a little bit. Don't know if I like that. I think I'm going to use this one right here. Let me use this color. Use this color again. And I'm just going to go down here to the last section, click on the region, that orange box again, click on properties, click on style on the left. And I'm just going to go here to the background, and I'm just going to use that color instead. And I'm going to darken it. I'm just going to darken it up a little bit, make it just a little bit translucent so you kind of like see it in the background. Okay. Now, of course, I'm not the greatest designer, but I'm just changing it just a little bit to get the look and feel that I want. See what else. But as you can see, we got, I got my own little brand going, and I can hit save. Now, here's the cool part. Because I didn't do a lot of changing to my font size and all that kind of stuff, everything is going to be already responsive. So if I go up all the way to the top and I click on this desktop, I notice how, the different breakpoints to see how everything looks. It's going to automatically going to automatically, format correctly. See? And you can just kind of see, how everything begins to look. So I can look at this one, scroll up, check it out. Now, the reason why I wanted to take this approach is because many of you're not page designers. You don't have like a big team like Monterey have. The more complex and the more sophisticated you want your page to look, the better you have to be at designing and making the changes and stuff like that. So I would say try to stick with solid colors if you can. Play around with it. Even if you have to find somebody to kind of like, someone who understands some good color schemes, and just have them briefly look at your page and kind of touch it up. You can do that as well. But do your best to just change the text. Try not to change the font size too much, unless you have to. You can still change the fonts if you want to. Like if you don't want this font, I can always click on it and go here to style, and I can come down here to font and I can change that font. So right now I'm using Roboto, so I can change it to Montserrat or some other ones. But notice how when you change the fonts, it changes the layout a little bit, right? Because depending on the way the font is, it might throw things off, and you just have to know how to adjust. So like right now, if I was going to use one, like notice how some of these fonts take up 2 lines, but some take up 3, you know what I mean? And so you want to be mindful of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my Roboto. And I think this might be okay for now, right? This might be okay for now. All right, so notice I kind of changed like the whole layout, not completely, but I just changed the images. Notice I didn't really change the font size, except up here. I try not to do that, especially because I don't want to have to really think about page layout. I just wanted to change the image, change the background, change the color here or there to get the brand that I want, okay? And that's how you do it, especially if you're a beginner. You want to kind of make changes that doesn't really alter the layout, because the moment you start modifying the layout, you really got to know what you're doing at that point. And when I say knowing what you're doing, I really mean like you have to just know, you have to have some kind of design understanding, because just because somebody gave you a bunch of tools doesn't mean you can just go out here and build a house, right? You got to have some carpentry skills, you know what I mean? So I strongly recommend, you making small tweaks and changes and focusing more on your copy. And then I recommend finding somebody like on Fiverr who you can pay, $75 to come in and just spice up your page with, matching colors and fonts and stuff like that. That's a better way to do it. Focus on the copy, and then and make sure your copy stays within the confines or the constraints of the layout. Right? I'm giving you a really good game right here. Really good wisdom is modify your copy, like fill in the blanks where you see those curly brackets, fill those in, and try to stay within the constraints of the layout. That's how you maintain really good, the templates and stuff like that. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So now I can actually just save this page. I'm going to save this page. And then I'm just going to click on the X button in the top right here to close it. That's going to bring me back into the automation. Because remember, we were just inside of the page builder. Now we're back inside of the automation. So we was inside the opt-in. So we still got a few ways to go. But these other sales pages are the exact same concept as the opt-in page. So I don't have to spend the same amount of time because the concepts are the same, But if you want to see quickly how this looks, you can just click on the eye icon, click on the opt-in, and then you just click on this eye icon, and then just click on test mode. And when you click on test mode, it's going to open up that particular page in the browser. And you can kind of see how that looks. Right, so now it's going to open that up. And, this is how that looks. And I kind of like how this bottom one really looks. That looks pretty nice. I may have to touch up this a little bit. I may take out the red and the green. I may not want that. Some of y'all may want that, but I may not want that in my layout. But I'm liking it so far. I got my brand, I got my logo. You want to make sure you have a really good logo. I can read the words. I may have to make this text a little bit bigger. Are you looking for simple ways to wear lashes without the mess and drying time? So it's a good start. Now remember, you got to be committed to your funnel. So by no means is this perfect right now, but it definitely is a good start because you always want to continue to optimize. But you want to get started. You want to start off decent, clean, and this looks clean, and then as we start making, getting more opt-ins, making more sales, we can spice it up. We can hire graphic designers and stuff like that. But for those of you who, you're a one-man band, you're a solopreneur, this is the way you want to go. Okay. So I think that's pretty much, let me show you when you press these buttons. So if I click on this, yes, I want the ebook. Notice how it just scrolls right down here to the form. If I'm here and I click grab the free ebook, it just takes me right down here. If I'm here, it's just going to still take me down to the page. And so same thing, if you're on a mobile device, you just click on it, it's going to automatically just take you right there. And notice how you can't see my anchor. My anchor is right above this text. Where should we send your free ebook? It's right above that. But when you run the page and view it over the web, the anchor tags are invisible, but they're there. Okay. All right. So this is pretty much it. This video was much longer, right? Because it's a opt-in page, right? You got to think about what you're going to say. You got to think about how you want things to look, so this is not like a 2-minute video, putting these things together takes time, and so you want to really think about what you're going to say, how you want to say it, and how you want your pages to look. All right. Awesome. So that's pretty much it in this video. In the next video, I'm going to discuss the sales offer page that comes right after the opt-in page, right? And so we're going to modify that page, and I'm going to show you how to get that, looking the way you want it to look. All right. I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.